Do you see what I see? I see a monthly Bitcoin October. I mean, keep in mind, there's still 24 days, 10 hours left, but that's a green candle right now. We're going to talk about that. We're going to zoom in on the Bitcoin daily chart. A lot to be optimistic about, but some to be careful of. And then I really want to discuss this on the weekly. It's Bitcoin being 50% undervalued. I'm going to take historical data, put it onto the Bitcoin charts, see what happened in previous times that this happened, and you might be surprised. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. And I want to start here. I posted this on October 1st. Remember, we were dipping real nice. A dip of this size on the first day of October might be the biggest indicator that October will close green. And you go to a Bitcoin daily chart, it was basically this move right here after previous day, also red candle. This might be, that entire move really might have been the best indicator that October will close green, because everybody's speculating, based on historical data. If we go and look right now, we're not much in the green, as you can see there, October, but still quite a bit of October left. But historically, October being a green month, and the candle so far right now looking pretty nice. But before we dive into the short-term price action of Bitcoin and just talk about this and talk about even the 6 hour, the very zoomed in, I want to go over this post. Bitcoin is 50% undervalued. And this chart, as you can see, kind of just shows actual value, the orange line, and fair value, the lighter line that you see there. And currently, it's looking like Bitcoin is 50% undervalued. The last time this happened, January 2023, September 2020, January 2019. If we go and look at these moments on a Bitcoin chart, things become very interesting. We're getting this 50% undervalued indicator right here towards all-time high, I might add. That's, I think, relevant. But look at last time this happened. Here's January 2023. And there's so many macro indicators playing into the potential for Bitcoin to go higher right now. We have October, this area, a lot of technical analysis type of indicators playing out very similarly. But this one, Bitcoin 50% undervalued back here. Check this out, the bottom of the bear market. Previous to that, we have Bitcoin, and probably most relevant to where we are. Remember, here's altcoin season, here's Bitcoin halving. We're kind of in between the two. Last cycle, around that moment, Bitcoin also putting in that 50% undervalued. Also, look what's there. I saved this. Gold, top. And we talked about this in a previous video. Gold was topping out on its zoomed out chart. Bitcoin getting ready to explode. Right now, gold could be topping out. It's not definite. Only when we look back at this moment will we know. But Bitcoin potentially getting ready. So 50% undervalued back here, and then 50% undervalued back here in 2019. I think is what he has on there, right? January 2019. So, and you know what? Check this out. That's not even right. Let me fix this. Let me fix it. January 2019 is the bottom of this bear market. So we have two bear market bottoms and the beginning of, I mean, this is even more compelling than how I had it. The beginning of the last parabolic bull cycle. So here we are. Bottom of the bear market, 50% undervalued. Beginning of bull market. Bottom of bear market, and here we are, everybody, beginning of bull market. So this is, I mean, that just became even more compelling to me that it plays out that way. So when we zoom out on the macro, I'm trying to integrate onto these charts all of these bullish pieces of data. Obviously, we all have our opinions, and a lot of us are very bullish on the macro. But when we start sprinkling in data that I think is also bullish, I think it becomes way more intriguing to follow Bitcoin into the bull market. So all of that to say, there are absolutely zero guarantees. If we zoom in on the weekly, want to point out, I want to just kind of try and visit as many technical indicators as I can briefly. The 20-week moving average, check this out. So far holding support for about a few weeks now. That is massive. This 20-week moving average is that area, that bull market area, that bear market area. We want to see higher highs and higher lows above it, as opposed to the lower highs, lower lows below it. So that's happening right now. Bitcoin monthly candle looking nice. A 50% undervalued. We start zooming in on the daily chart, and we're like, all right, can we get there? Can Bitcoin get there? And this is the half a year consolidation for Bitcoin that we've just been tracking. It's like can we break into new structure, please? Can something happen? Even if it's like Bitcoin's going to fall and break to the bottom and put the bottom in on the macro down here at 40,000, can it happen? Please. That's kind of like my thought right now. But either way, here's what we have going on, and we're really going to zoom in on short-term price action now. First things first, we're not there yet. We're not, the true bullish indicator has not happened, right? Where we're actually breaking towards this upper trend line and breaking out. And right now, we have a lot of good things happening. 20-day crossing above the 50. Right now, at the very least, we're above the 200-day moving average. All of that is good. But on the short term, you see here, and this is also a little bit of a good thing, but we're at resistance right now. And I'm going to explain why it could potentially be a good thing. But swing high to swing low that we've just put in on the daily, you can see this lower high Fibonacci. It's in play. Even right now, as I do the video, Bitcoin is seeing resistance there. This is one of those things to be careful of. Bitcoin could be faking everybody out right now, especially the bulls, right? Fake out, and we're falling again. Here we go again. And then all of a sudden, we're in a red October. Be very careful of that. The reason I say there could be a potential good indicator, a good sign here, is because we're kind of in this environment. We're talking about this lower high happening so soon from this swing high. What I mean by that is last swing high back here, you can see this massive dip, and we could talk about a Fibonacci back there. So it's swing high all the way to the swing low, and there's our Fibonacci, and there's our resistance, and we went lower. Right now, the Fibonacci that we're tracking is still towards the upper end of this entire pattern, right? So we're not like swing high and then, okay, here, let's take it to the dip at the lower trend line. Where's the Fibonacci? No, we're swing high to a quick swing low at the 50-day moving average support, and we're testing a very short-term Fibonacci. That to me is a good sign, but we have to see Bitcoin, how it's going to consolidate now at this area, right? So that means there's the resistance, and all of the support is here. The 50-day, even the 20-day, which is directly below Bitcoin, like the lower 63,000s. But this entire area is where we want to see Bitcoin. If it's going to see resistance at the lower high Fibonacci, we want to see Bitcoin just pull into these moving averages and just consolidate sideways, really, at the very least. Otherwise, we know what's in play. Rejection here, another lower high, and we're falling down once again, and we have to start looking for support on the way down. So that's why I say we're not out of the woods yet. We look at the daily chart. Just want to point out something to you. The momentum oscillator really looking nice on the daily as well. It's just higher lows, right? From this swing low back here, oversold in August, higher lows, even with this current bounce here. Maybe we do go sideways, as we just discussed before going higher. But we're going to continue monitoring that. Now, it's on the 6 hour. Things become even short-term bullish. Nothing like a 6 hour oversold. I posted this 5 days ago on October 2nd. Nothing like a 6 hour oversold RSI at the beginning of bull season. Also great during bull season. Here's the 6 hour chart. It got oversold. And I did a video on this, I think around that same time as that post. Historically, when we're getting Bitcoin hitting this oversold area, we see what Bitcoin does next, right? So here we are hitting that oversold area the other day. And this is what I liked about it when it was happening is we're hitting oversold, but we're not like in this area down here. We're hitting oversold, and Bitcoin price is still all the way up here at the upper half of this massive half a year consolidation. That to me looks very bullish. And I just want to point something out to you because I know Bitcoin is approaching, it's not even overbought on the 6 hour chart, but it's approaching that area. If we go to something like back in October when Bitcoin broke out and we get a glance of what it looked like on the 6 hour, and here it is. Here's October 2023, crazy, a year ago. Many indicators lining up very similar, but there it is breaking out of all of its consolidation, all of this just sideways, breaking out. Look at Bitcoin on the 6 hour. While it's doing that, it's approaching overbought. Did that stop the move from happening? No. On these shorter term RSIs, you can't really use them so much as like this macro resistance area. Meaning if Bitcoin's getting overbought on the 6 hour chart, you can't just use that one indicator alone to say, okay, that's it. That's the run. It's over. because you see what happens next. And you see there could be bearish divergence here, right, on the way up, but Bitcoin just kept going. And the bearish divergence gives clues into maybe some consolidation getting ready to happen, as you can see, which it did, right? Big dips, all that good stuff. But that's a 6-hour chart. But very similar vibe right now as we're approaching overbought, and Bitcoin did bounce out of oversold. There's a lot of room for the breakout to the upside. So we're at the upper half of this pattern. The upper trend line of the pattern is, I mean, right now as I do the video, it's just around 6% away. So that's in play for Bitcoin right now. But again, let's watch, at least this is what I'm watching, is this shorter term resistance for Bitcoin. We could be getting faked out, right? So I just want to see how Bitcoin interacts with this entire area. That is around $65,000 down to around $64,000. That's the big resistance area for Bitcoin. And as a reminder, we still do have 24 days, 9 hours left of the month of October. Something tells me it's going to be a volatile one. We would all really enjoy seeing the big breakout out of that upper trend line and a massive monthly candle. Will it happen? That is yet to be seen, but something that we'll be obviously keeping track of. So these are my thoughts on Bitcoin, what's going on right now. You can just zoom out on even the 6 hour and you just get a sense of, okay, there's not been any massive breakout yet. So it's good to chill out, watch the charts, anticipate everything. That means upside and downside, and we'll see what happens next. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Let's see how this week goes. Hopefully green, hopefully bullish. I'll see you all in the next video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like. Have an awesome day, and God bless.